Hi everybody, welcome back to the painting channel. Today is a watercolour. It's all about a couple of very quintessential English cottages sat in the countryside between Brabourne and Ashford. So let's roll the intro. Let's see what happens. Hi everybody, welcome back. As I said at the start, it is a lovely little watercolour all about quintessential English cottages set in the countryside between Ashford and Brabourne in Kent. Now these are very, very old buildings, and they were once, I understand, schoolhouses, and they are a pair of cottages linked together, but they are iconic. Now I've changed a few things in the reference photo, which you'll see, and for good reason. So with that said and done, let's have a look at that in a minute. But in the short term, if you enjoy this, as always, give it the thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and that will help me so much. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Just click that subscribe and bell icon. It tells you every time I upload a new video, which is incidentally every Friday at 3 p.m. British time. So you can always count on that, and you can tune in and enjoy yet another video to learn from. If you want even more than that, then don't forget, nip on over to the Patreon. It's there, it's growing all the time. There are heaps of videos on there. They're all full length pretty much, and they are fully narrated, and there's so much diversity of subject matter as well as oils and watercolors. So take a look at those. It costs you $5 or $10 to get involved, and every penny you put in helps me create more videos for you to learn from and enjoy, both on Patreon and on YouTube. And there is also a weekly live stream every week, and there is also a private Facebook community for all my patrons to talk to each other and to talk with me, get help, ask questions and get answers. So with that all said and done, let's look at these lovely old cottages from England, and yeah, let's just see how we get on. In the meantime, take care, have fun, catch you all in the next video next Friday. Take care, bye bye. Right, let's get on. And I want to do these little old schoolhouses. Now, they're out of Brabourne, and they are a pair of, well, I believe them to be the old schoolhouses at Brabourne. And they're a lovely pair of cottages. Now, I'm going to exaggerate the situation a little bit more. I want to give them a bit of height. I want to put a little bit more of the fencing down, a little bit more of the landscape, because I'm standing in the adjacent road taking a photograph of them. And for me, that hedge doesn't quite work out too well. So I'm going to change how I see the foreground. I'm going to make them just about that high, I think, through here, and then put a tree in, and gives me room for a nice sky. So I'm going to suddenly plot, or try and plot, where the roof lines are, where I want them to be.
Nothing ever felt as good or as easy as when we were young. Oh, though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you. We were just children acting like a doll, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart harder than we did. They keep us on speaking terms. We grow and we learn. I have no regrets, only forgets. Oh, a big thank you to life for giving us sand. Oh, when the time is right.
Now then, first things first, let's whet our appetites. Let's put a sky on. I'm using a medium squirrel mop for this, and I think what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to wet the paper. So I'm going to go for a bigger squirrel mop. This is a big old Winsor & Newton one, and that will wet my paper down. And I'm only going to take the paper down so far. I'm going to come round the building to start with. I will extend that wash further, but I want to control it a little bit. So I'm just going to come down to the building, and the nice thing is that all the parts, even the light parts of this house, are darker than the sky, so that stands us in good stead.
There's no wasteland. Oh, we were just children acting like adults, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me.
Nice. I think we've got a lovely cloud. I think that works beautifully. Right, this area here, I'm just going to suck it off with a damp brush so that I don't leave any lines that can come back with an awful hair again. Yeah, I'm going to take that off like so, and that's fine. Now I can continue down with some wash, but I think I'm actually decided to leave that. What I will do is I will use some of this blue, and I'm going to put in a little bit of Indian red, like that. And that will give me a nice change to that sky. It's a wash, don't forget, and we can come back in with this, so don't think that we can't play around with this colour. This is just suggesting some distance in our hills.
That we didn't fall apart harder than we did. Life keeps on moving. It's cold.
Okay, so we're going to start working on the house now, and I am going to come down to a smaller brush. Everything is nice and dry, or as dry as I need it to worry about, but I want to work as fast as I can. I really don't want to make this a laboured picture. So I'm just going to come in with a very faint wash of some ochres and some of these reds that we've got going on here, and I'm just going to brush in very quickly over the top of the roof line, just a little more yellow than I've got. Just take that across down there and around certain parts so that we don't lose anything.
Life keeps on moving. It's cold. Yes, life goes on changing. That we didn't fall apart harder than we did.
And I'm going to drop in just one or two areas of darker sienna, burnt sienna, and a little bit of blue. Mix the two, just tap, just drop the odd little bit of colour in. You can do this when you're nearly dry, or you can be a little bit more rash and speedy up, as I'm doing with this one. Speedy up, did I say that? You know what I mean. And just going to drop one or two extra colours into this roof, a bit more warmth into this one as that comes through there, and it will dry out and suggest the different colour aspects of the tiling on this beautiful old roof. Just going to vary some of them. Take that into there. We've got a big old cast shadow that's got to come into there as well. Mustn't forget that. I'll keep it fairly light coming down here though, and that comes down like that. Good. And just a little bit down here.
Miss you. Why can't I move on?
And that will do. Okay, and we haven't actually given our big old chimney a colour, so let's just come back in, and I'm going to give that sort of fairly pale colour like that. Taking that all the way down there, and it sort of stops about there, and I think the top part has been at some point rendered with a pebble dash render, and I think that it stops there and the stone is kept as stone beyond that. So okay, I'm not going to worry about too much of that. Let's come back over here now and let's put a second layer on for some of our trees and shrubs that are more in the foreground. I'm just going to come in and scratch away to my heart's content through here. Just break it up a little bit.
Thought I left you smiling. My past is holding on. Oh, yeah. They said keep on praying, things will change. So I kept on waiting. It's the same. When will tomorrow come? When will I see the sun?
I'm just going to put in a few marks like this that I hope will suggest our fencing. If this works, great. If it doesn't work, it was worth a try. But there we go. At the moment it looks anything but sort of dark fencing. I'm going to come in with a bit of indigo and a little bit of transparent orange just to darken that up. I think it needs to be that much darker. And I'll pop over some of these, and I'm not going to worry if I lose some of the white bits. It's merely suggestive, merely a suggestion of our fencing. But it's working in the negative spaces of what you see through the fence as opposed to the white picket fence.
Will it stop hurting so much? When will tomorrow come?
what we don't want to do is lose our wonderful light on the wall. That's really important. I went through a solid colour. You can see breaks in it through the bushes where the bushes are still young or no growth on them, but I wanted the darks just so that I could isolate that fencing. So that's why there is no breaks to the fence, to the wall. And put a similar little set of colours up in here. Here I probably will just leave bits of the wall there so that it brings, so you can see that that works like that. Now let's come back into our conifers. It's going to mix up our green again, phthalo green, and I'm going to put some indigo to that to start with. And what other colour? I think I'm going to try some of the orange. I can always come back with more green.
Will it stop hurting so much? When will tomorrow come? When will tomorrow know? When will it come? Yeah. Come. Will it stop hurting so much? So much. No. When will it come?
And you need enough strength in the paint to be able to travel down and look dark when it comes in front of some of this here. So just break some of that up and we can bring some of these branch and trunks down. Some there, a bit more dark on the green actually. Be careful with phthalo green, I keep telling you. Just bring some of that through, and we're just making a whole mass of marks. And look at that, just tapping in a few branches here and there, and easily done with either this or the sword. Doesn't matter which one you choose, but there we've got a whole load of trees there. And what I wanted to try and replicate is some of this sort of ivy with some of these darks in here. So some of this ivy that's growing up some of these trees and out into some of the branches like that.
Nothing ever felt as good or as easy as when we were young. Though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you. We were just children acting like a doll, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart harder than.
I'm just going to dry off a little bit and just blend some of this out into our roadside or path or track, whatever you want to be calling it. Connect some of these up and allow some of the feel to come through. Now I'm not being so blasé over my marks. I am looking and seeing where I want to connect up bits and pieces that suggest that there is a thickening of growth, but there is also little bits of field and stuff popping through this that we can see, and utilize some of those. Don't be so quick to get rid of them, and just be careful. Just individual little dead bits of grass, reeds and whatever may have been there over winter that is now giving way to new growth.
We did. Now they keep us on speaking terms. We grow and we learn. I have no regrets, only forgets. Oh, a big thank you to life.
Okay everybody, it's finished, it's done. I had a lot of fun doing this painting. Now I know it's not the full version. That can be found on my Patreon channel. If you want to get involved with that for a few dollars a month, you can see the full version of this painting and many other paintings that are on there for you to enjoy and learn from. But I do hope that you got enough out of this one to enjoy the process and maybe have a go at yourself. The reference is going to be on my Patreon page for you to freely download, use and learn from. It's you don't have to be a patron to do that. I do that for all my videos that are on YouTube, so take a look at it, get involved, have a look and paint this yourself, see how you get on, and I hope you enjoy that process. Whatever you do, do not beat yourself up over it. Enjoy it. It's just a dream to just sit down and paint without worrying about the final conclusion. So just enjoy it and have fun. Anyway, all the best to you until the next one. I don't know what the subject's going to be, but it'll be next Friday at 3 o'clock. So join me then. Catch you all soon. Stay safe. Happy painting. I think I've said that. Bye-bye.
Forgiving our sand. Oh, when the timing's right, there's no wasteland. Oh, we were just children, acting like adults.